I'm Steve Stevenson, and welcome to the No Strings News Show, live from London.
And I'm John Johnson with a Z.
In the world of online streaming, tensions are rising between two prominent figures, Zach Asmongold and Stephen Destiny. It all began when Asmongold reacted to a post by Destiny on X, where Destiny called on the Secret Service to step up and do their duty. Asmongold perceived this as an endorsement of political violence, stating, quote, advocating for and talking about political violence and being violent, I think that is very dangerous. I think that he has done it so much recently that I feel like he's risking his entire internet presence on it. End quote.
Quite a strong accusation, Steve. Has Asmongold provided further details on his concerns?
Yes, John. He expressed worry that Destiny's recent rhetoric could jeopardize his online career, mentioning the following quote: I don't think he is that far off from getting banned from YouTube because of that. And I'm just being honest, right? You can't go on YouTube and you can't have all these statements like killing people, killing the president, and beating people up, etc. Eventually, you're going to get suspended for that, and you're going to get in trouble. Unquote. It's evident that both streamers are navigating a delicate balance between free expressions and the potential consequence of their words. The online community will undoubtedly be watching how this situation unfolds. And tonight's You Can't Make This Shit Up segment, a Kansas babysitter routine bedtime check, took an unexpected turn. While reassuring a child about imaginary monsters, she discovered a real one hiding under bed. Let's go to our correspondent John for the details.
Thanks, Steve. Picture this. It's Monday night near Great Bend, Kansas around 10:30 p.m. A babysitter is tucking children into bed when one whispers about a monster lurking beneath. Thinking it's just child's play, she peeks under the bed and, surprise, finds 27-year-old Martin Villalobos Jr., a man once lived there but was under a protection order to stay away.
That's insane, John. So what happened next? Did they invite him for a story time?
Not quite, Steve. A scuffle ensued, knocking one of the children over. Villalobos fled the scene, but deputies apprehended him the next morning after a brief chase. He now faces charges including aggravated kidnapping, burglary, battery, and child endangerment, all while being held on a $500,000 bond. Seems like he found more than he bargained under the bed.
Well, John, that's one way to ensure kids never want to sleep without the bed light again. Thanks for the spine chilling update.
Anytime, Steve. Remember, folks, always check under the bed before tucking in. You never know what or who you might find.
In a move that has sent shockwaves through global markets, President Donald Trump has imposed sweeping tariffs on imports from China, Mexico, and Canada. The new measures announced earlier this week includes a 10% universal tariff on goods from most countries, with China facing a significantly high rate of 125%. The administration cites concerns over intellectual property, theft, trade imbalances, and the flow of illicit substances as justifications for these unprecedented tariffs.
And how has China responded to the economic ultimatum, Steve?
China has retaliated with its own set of tariffs, targeting US exports such as coal, liquefied natural gas, and agricultural machinery. Additionally, Beijing has filed a complaint with the World Trade Organization, arguing that US measures violate international trade rules.
Sounds like a classic case of he who smelt it dealt it. But on a serious note, what impact are these tariffs having on American consumers, Steve?
The effects are multifaceted. While the intention is to pressure China into fair trade practices, these tariffs risk higher prices for consumers, disrupted supply chains, and potential job losses in industries reliant on international trade.
So, in essence, Americans are paying more at the checkout to teach China a lesson in fair play?
That's one way to look at it, John. The situation has left many economists and business leaders concerned about the long term economic ramifications, including the possibility of a global recession.
Didn't Trump just halt the tariffs for 90 days, but not before telling his followers to buy in?
Yes, John. Early this morning, Trump took to Truth Social, or as some call it, Twitter 2.0, to declare this is a great time to buy, in all caps, of course. This came just hours after the market took a dive on the news of escalating trade tensions and new tariffs his team had hinted at. Traders weren't sure if it was strategy or stand up comedy. Now, here's where the plot thickens. Just as retail investors loyal to the brand and perhaps the hat began scooping up shares like it was Black Friday, Trump made another move. In a surprise statement, he announced a 90-day halt on the very tariffs that had spooked the market in the first place. Critics are calling it classic Trump. Shake the tree, let the apples fall, and sell the basket. Supporters are saying it's art of the deal in real time. Meanwhile, day traders are either popping champagne or antacids.
We are back with our ongoing coverage of the otter escapades from last week in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We have an update. As of last week, Ophelia, one of the North American river otters from the new zoo and adventure park, was safely recaptured after 2 weeks' adventure. She was found on Friday night with assistance from Somiko Trap LLC and underwent a veterinary examination, returning to her enclosure after a clean bill of health.
But what about Louis? Any sign of him?
Louis remains at large. The zoo suspects he's on a prowl for a mate, given it's otter breeding season. The zoo reassured that Louis will likely not be far away and poses no threats to humans.
So Louis is living the single otter's dream, huh? What's the zoo doing to bring him back into the fold?
The zoo isn't letting Louis slip through their paws. They're employing a tracker, setting up motion activated cameras, and relying on community reports to pinpoint his whereabouts. The zoo assures the public that Louis poses no threat. He's more interested in fish than fuss.
Well, John, it seems this otter tale is far from over. Keep us posted on any new developments.
Will do, Steve. And remember, folks, if you see an otter sliding through the backyard, it's probably just Louis looking for love. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, John.